All right, let's dive right into the heart of our topic today. Understanding the science behind climate change and the role of human activities in accelerating it. Climate change. It's indeed a heavy subject, but it's an important one to understand. So let's break it down. Climate change refers to significant changes in global temperatures and weather patterns over time. While climate change is a natural phenomenon, scientific evidence shows that human activities have greatly accelerated the rate at which it's happening. How, you may ask? Well, it's largely due to the increase in greenhouse gases in the Earth's atmosphere. Greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide and methane, trap heat from the sun and prevent it from escaping back into space. And this is a natural and necessary process, because without it, our planet would be too cold for us to survive. However, the problem arises when the concentration of these gases in the atmosphere increases too much. Our human activities, such as burning fossil fuels for electricity, heat, and transportation, have significantly increased the levels of these greenhouse gases. Every time we burn oil, coal, or gas, we release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This process is called carbon emission. Deforestation is another major contributor. Trees absorb carbon dioxide, so when we cut them down, we're not only removing these natural sponges for carbon dioxide, but we're also releasing the carbon dioxide stored in those trees into the atmosphere. So, to sum it up, our human activities are accelerating climate change by increasing the concentration of greenhouse gases in the Earth's atmosphere. It's like we've thrown a thick thermal blanket over our planet that's causing it to heat up more and more. And this, my friends, is what we call global warming. In the next part, we'll delve into how renewable energy sources can help us combat this very problem. So stick around. Now that we've got a good grip on the science behind climate change and how we humans are inadvertently accelerating it, let's move on to something a bit more optimistic. Let's explore the different types of renewable energy sources and their potential in reducing carbon emissions. First up, we have solar energy. Now, this one's pretty self-explanatory. Solar energy is harnessed from the sun using solar panels. These panels contain cells that convert sunlight into electricity. The great thing about solar energy is that it's abundant and completely free. Plus, it emits no greenhouse gases once the panels are installed and running. Next on the list is wind energy. This is energy that's generated by wind, turning large turbine blades, which then spin a generator to produce electricity. Similar to solar energy, wind energy also doesn't produce any greenhouse gases during operation. Then we've got hydropower, or energy derived from water. This usually involves a large dam on a river that releases water to turn turbines. While this method can have some impact on local ecosystems, it still produces far fewer emissions than fossil fuels. There's also geothermal energy, which comes from the heat within the Earth itself. This heat can be used to generate electricity or heat buildings. It's a reliable and consistent source of energy, and it's super low on greenhouse gas emissions. And let's not forget about bioenergy, which is energy derived from organic materials, like plants and waste. This one's a little bit of a double-edged sword, though. While it's renewable and can reduce waste, it can produce emissions depending on the source material and the process used to convert it to energy. All these renewable energy sources have the potential to drastically reduce our carbon emissions. They offer a clean, green alternative to burning fossil fuels.
If only we could switch to 100% renewables overnight, right? So,
well, there are some challenges, which we'll discuss later. But for now, let's stay focused on the positive. and look at the benefits of transitioning to renewable energy in our next section. All right, now that we've got a handle on the different types of renewable energy sources, let's dive into the myriad benefits that come with transitioning to renewable energy. And trust me, the benefits are not just environmental, but also economic and social. Let's kick off with the environmental benefits, as that's the most obvious one. Renewable energy sources produce significantly less emissions compared to fossil fuels. This means less greenhouse gases, less global warming, and slower climate change. Plus, since renewables don't consume or contaminate water to cool power plants like fossil fuel sources do, we're also looking at cleaner water bodies and preservation of our aquatic ecosystems. Now, onto the economic benefits. Investing in renewable energy technologies creates jobs. And we're not talking about just a handful of jobs. We're talking about millions of jobs worldwide in manufacturing, installation, maintenance, and more. Plus, the cost of renewable energy technologies is dropping rapidly. Did you know that in many cases, it's now cheaper to build new solar or wind farms than to keep existing coal plants running? So, if you enjoyed this, you can share with you. Finally, let's talk about the social benefits. Transitioning to renewable energy can improve public health. By reducing emissions, we're reducing air and water pollution, which can lead to a host of health issues like respiratory problems and cardiovascular diseases. Plus, renewable energy can also improve energy access in remote or underprivileged areas, leading to better quality of life and socioeconomic development.
If you ask me, transitioning to renewable energy seems like a no-brainer with all these benefits.
But of course there are challenges and hurdles to overcome, which we'll get into next. So stay tuned. All right, so we've covered the science behind climate change, explored various renewable energy sources, and discussed the numerous benefits of transitioning to renewable energy. Now, let's take a look at the technological advancements and policy initiatives that can facilitate this shift towards renewable energy. On the technological front, there have been some truly exciting advancements. For instance, solar panels have become significantly more efficient and cost-effective over the past few years. Battery technology, crucial for storing power generated by wind and solar, has also seen major improvements. We're now seeing the development of high-capacity batteries that can store enough power to support the grid even when the sun isn't shining or the wind isn't blowing.
That's quite a leap forward, isn't it?
And then there's the development of smart grids. These are electricity supply networks that use digital technology to better manage electricity demand and supply, making the entire system more reliable and efficient. But technology alone can't bring about the shift to renewable energy. It's here that policy initiatives play a crucial role. Governments around the world are setting ambitious targets for renewable energy generation and carbon emission reductions. Incentives like tax credits and subsidies are being offered to encourage both individuals and businesses to invest in renewable energy. There are also policies in place to phase out coal-fired power plants and promote the development and use of clean energy technologies. Initiatives such as carbon pricing or cap-and-trade systems are also being used to make fossil fuels less economically attractive and renewable energy more competitive. But of course, the road to a renewable energy future is not without its challenges. And that's what we're going to delve into next. So, stay tuned. All right, now let's move on to the final part of our discussion today. evaluating the challenges and potential solutions, and implementing renewable energy projects on a global scale. This is where things get a bit complicated, but hey, no one said saving the world was going to be easy, right?
One of the biggest challenges in implementing renewable energy projects is the initial cost.
Building renewable energy infrastructure, such as wind farms or solar parks, requires substantial upfront investment. And while the operational costs are low, these initial costs can be a significant hurdle, especially for developing countries. Then, there's the issue of energy storage. Renewable energy is often intermittent. The sun doesn't always shine. The wind doesn't always blow. So, we need to have effective ways of storing this energy for use during off-peak times. While battery technology has improved significantly, we still have a long way to go to make large-scale energy storage feasible and affordable. The geographical limitation is another challenge. Not all regions are suitable for all types of renewable energy. For instance, solar energy requires ample sunlight, wind energy needs consistent wind speeds, and hydropower necessitates large water bodies. So, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. But despite these challenges, there are potential solutions and strategies that can help us overcome these hurdles. For instance, governments can provide subsidies or financial incentives to reduce the initial costs of renewable energy projects. International cooperation can also play a big role in sharing technology and resources to overcome geographical limitations. Further research and development can lead to more efficient and cost-effective renewable energy technologies and storage solutions. And finally, raising public awareness about the benefits of renewable energy can also encourage more people and businesses to make the switch. In conclusion, the transition to renewable energy on a global scale is indeed a daunting task. But with the right mix of technological innovation, policy initiatives, and societal commitment, we can certainly make it happen. After all, our future depends on it. So, let's roll up our sleeves and get to work.